Immigrant elders in Australia carry stories of resilience, faith, and wisdom. By interviewing some of the senior citizens in our community, we listen to their thoughts on mental health, what they miss, and the misconceptions they've faced. Most importantly, they share their advice for maintaining mental well-being for younger generations. Mental or physical health, what matters more?
I think mental health is more important because physically the lifestyle we lead, even if you're not in a very fit condition, you can participate in every activity, more or less. But if you have mental difficulties, then it can be a big challenge.
Both are connected to one another because but generally if mental health is in balance, we're also in balance physically.
I think mental health drives physical health.
Health is a state of well-being at the level of physical, mental, social, spiritual and cultural.
Both are interlinked, so therefore you really can't segregate them as two separate things.
It's both complementary, so both are important.
Physical health, I think, is more important because if you are mobile and if you are physically fit, you can recognize your mental disability, or if somebody can point it out to you, and you still have energy and things that you can handle it.
Mental health matters much more because physical health is to a great extent reliant on mental health.
Do you miss anything from your younger days?
A few things like trekking or going up to the Himalayas, my favorite place.
Lack of responsibilities? No, I really quite enjoy the phase I'm in, and I embrace my age. I've just turned 65 and I'm loving it.
The agility and the strength that we used to have.
The environment I was brought up in is not there anymore.
The joy, the sprightliness.
Innocent joys, innocent unhappinesses, all of them are, I think, missing.
I don't really miss anything, but on the other hand, I hate to go back to my old age and young days because we didn't grow up in a very affluent society. And when I think about it and when I think the people around me, I don't want to put myself through that experience again.
I used to love sports quite a lot. I used to play quite a lot of games, cricket, volleyball, soccer and things like that, which I can't do anymore.
My health, here, and my friends.
Running around, having more energy, mainly that, and being able to play sport, which is difficult now.
What's the biggest mental health misconception about the elderly?
We are all okay. I think just like we all have some aches and pains and cracks and fractures, definitely the mind also takes a lot of beating, but we are not very open to come up with that.
There's a talk that there's always this thing about loneliness and connection, which is very important, but I think it's equally important to embrace your own company and enjoy solitude.
I think the definition of an elderly is a misnomer because it's a continuum. And two is, I think, subjectively, I think I would put it down as loneliness or feeling alone in your world.
For the elderly, these are the best years of one's life. And if one has come to accept oneself, then all the joy is within them. You don't need anything else to have mental health.
Stigma around mental health is something which is common across all age cohorts. And the elderly also almost fan this fire by saying that, no, we are fine.
To talk about mental health and mental disease, there is a saying in Bengali, যে লোকটা পাগল হয়ে গেছে, has gone mad. Now that connotation, that's the biggest problem. The connotation of being a disease which can't be rectified.
We have got the perception that those who forget things are gone already. But they don't realize because as you age, your mental capacity goes down a bit.
Everything will be okay, but which I don't think is true. Sometimes you may get into trouble because of mental health and you may not recognize yourself.
But when you get older, you're pretty much almost considered to be senile, which is completely untrue. I mean, yes, we may be slower, we may be more forgetful, but the brain can be just as sharp as ever. Just the speed is probably not as it used to be.
Does spirituality or purpose matter more now than earlier?
I think it always was important because a life without purpose or passion is quite wasted.
Earlier times when you're raising children, you've got responsibilities, paying off a mortgage. It's difficult to be spiritual when you've got those kind of responsibilities weighing on you. But as you get older, then your responsibilities are met, your children are grown up, established, they have their own children. That is the perfect time to embrace spirituality.
There are the 4 M's of aging: mobility, what matters to you, medication, and mental health.
Spirituality should be taught right from day one. I mean, from childhood, that there's a bigger consciousness, there's a bigger good, and it's not just limited to the material world, it's much wider than that. Yeah.
Spirituality probably matters a lot more because you come to a point in time of life where most of the things that people strive for, material, physical, all of them have been more or less achieved. So this time is for yourself, and this is for you to find a better version of you. So spirituality is absolutely vital at this stage, and you have got the time to do things like meditate, take long walks, spend time with yourself. There is a saying that if you don't enjoy spending time with yourself in quietude, why should you impose yourself on others?
At the moment, it is attracting a lot of people who go there because they believe that it could be a solution for something that they are going through, rather than going for spirituality itself.
Spirituality, I think, is the second level of your comfort. I think if you are hungry, if you haven't got a place to sleep, if you're on the road, I don't think spirituality will come in your mind.
Not a spiritual person, so I can't quite relate to that.
Purpose was always what mattered to me. Spirituality, I'm sorry, doesn't play much of a part in my life.
What's one key advice for younger generations on well-being?
I think it's worth exploring, these age-old questions like who am I, what am I doing here?
It's a time to enjoy, but also put your mind on some spiritual things when you can.
Keep contacts with your community, whatever that community is. Have good friends, very important, and be communicative with your parents.
Nothing really matters in the real world so long as we are centered and happy.
Accept. Everything happens for a reason.
There is no shame in acknowledging or accepting that you need help, and therefore reach out for help.
Spare some time for your family, have a family and work balance as much as possible.
Keep your physical and mental health in good condition.
Think positive. Think about not so much as what's wrong with you, but think what is right with you and try and build on that.
Take the life the way it is. You don't have to copy anybody. You are you, and be proud of what you are.
If you're ready to unzip your preconceived notions, reboot your energy, and start living life in your own terms, this is the right place for you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content at Unzip, Reboot, and Live, URL podcast.